Welcome to AndreaPark. Here are the trophies collected from each of the bosses. As you can see, 2 remain. Each trophy has its own special power that can be imbued onto a player one at a time. But trophies are not why we're here. We're here to see what has been built. So let's go see. There's the main house. Let's go inside and take a look around. Entering through the original door brings us into the kitchen. Here you'll see butcher table, pots and pans, spice rack, a stone oven, all helping us create better and more fulfilling meals to boost our stamina and health. Moving towards the back of the house, you'll notice that we have a work area set up, including a forge, workbench, and fermenter for making resistance meats. Turning back past our throne and bed, we head to our storage, where you'll see we have food sorted into cooked food, vegetables, and meats. Beyond that are also other supplies for crafting materials. Headed out back, we enter our farming area with a patch of carrots and onions, as well as rows of blueberry and raspberry bushes and beehives for honey. You'll also spot thistles to be harvested, as well as some red mushrooms. Now we move into my metal processing area with a charcoal kiln, smelter, and blast furnace for processing ore. Now we come to our windmill, which processes barley into flour, and the seashore, where we have our pier for fishing and docking, as well as our first slip for docking our first boat. Lastly, on the homestead is the storage warehouse, keeping all our overage and all our trophy heads. And now we'll run back up to the teleportarium, where we can show you the rest of the world. Our first location is in the swamp, an abandoned, decrepit tower that we claimed, repaired, and refurbished into this small outpost. What makes this outpost special is the startling spawner behind it. Since it is underwater, all of its creations perish before they can make it to shore, allowing us to reap the benefits. Now we added a little bit of travel around the swamp so you can see some of the denizens. We battle an ooze and a draugr before returning. Looking at the map, you'll see dots that represent sailing routes, most notably leading north to the plains boss spawn. There, it has killed us twice and still remains to taunt us. We will eventually seek our revenge. Now we travel to the Elder Kill Shack. This is a cabin set up for the purpose of attacking the second boss of the biomes. And now the quick run to the altar. Here at the altar for the altar, the inscription reads, "Burn their young," but is referring to ancient seeds. And now we head back to the cabin and hop through more portals, which will lead us to the farm on the plains, which sounds much more relaxing than it actually is. Now I will quickly harvest the crops that have grown here in my small patch of the plains. As you can see, this space is claimed by a staked wall, as well as a number of workbenches that have been spread out to prevent enemy spawns. My farming was interrupted by an audio cue of an enemy unit being nearby, more specifically a fulling, which is like a goblin. You'll also see I find a Desquito, which is quite large. Having dealt with the threats, we now return to replant our crops. I plant in a 5x5 grid, planting 25 of each, and each plant will yield 2 in return. So I will harvest back 50 of both, and then again playing 25. As a quick look at the map will show, the original purpose of this farm was a bone mass kill shack, but was eventually upgraded to being a farmhouse. On our second to last trip, we were stopping by the merchant. He has one shop that he keeps out in the woods and is spawned pretty much randomly, and can be quite the bother to find. Finally, we make our trip up into the mountains to the last biome we have conquered, the mountaintops. Checking the map one final time, we will see that this is also a kill shack set up for Modor, the boss of the mountaintops, as well as see the rest of the explored world. Here to finish our tour of AndreaPark, we are on a mountaintop up near the altar of Modor, the boss of the mountaintop biomes. This tower, like the Tower of the Swamp, was discovered abandoned and refurbished. Its most pressing issue has been keeping a fire running in times of storm. We hope you have enjoyed and survived this tour of AndreaPark.